I'm going to speak today on be silent and possess your land. And this is not the type of silence where you get quiet and you draw and you hide. This is a different silence. This is a silence where God fights for you. Because if you remember, Moses gave them a caveat. The Lord will fight for you, and you only have to be silent. He told them that. But as soon as they stepped over into Mara, bitter waters, oh, it ain't sweet over here. You just watched God deliver a whole set of people. You walked through, killed your enemies, and you just hear a little rumble of them coming after you, and now you mumbling and groaning and complaining. God just delivered you and your car was about to get repoed. He turned it around, but now the light bill can't be paid, and now you're moaning and complaining. That's the magnitude of it. Be silent and possess your land. There is a requirement for us. For when God tells us to be obedient in something, we need to follow it, because disobedience will take you out of your land. He told Moses to speak to the rock. Moses went down and began to speak to the people and began to tell them who they was and what they did. And then struck the rock. And that took him out of the promised land, because he allowed rejection and anger to be his voice. If he would have only took his own advice when he told the people to be silent and watch the Lord fight for you. Today, there are some things in our lives that are speaking for us. And I know it's true, because Minister Jessica and Minister Elijah did not know the night before they came up. We were watching the prayer. We were on intercessory training, which was amazing. But after I got off, God told me to lay on my face. So I'm laying on my face on my floor. And then he made me get up, and I had to tell my husband something that I've been carrying with me since I was 48 years. I'm 48 years old. And that was the spirit of competition, comparison. And that was a judgmental spirit. And he said, you need to get rid of that. That is keeping you from possessing your land. He said, yes, you have success in this, but that is your cohabitant. And every time you get ready to succeed, that spirit of comparison began to talk loud and says, you know what? You can't do it like them. You know what? You don't look like them. You know what? You don't sound like them. Maybe you should sit down. Maybe you should shut up. Maybe you can't do this and that. You are not a prophetess. You ain't got no healing. They just trying. You know what? I don't prophesy like mom do. I'm killing these spirits today. I'm killing them. I had the spirit of judgment. Oh, I was so critical. I could be sitting here just smiling and clapping. I cannot believe she wore them shoes, girl. And I'm talking to myself. I was talking to myself. I'm not going to pollute y'all. I'm more mature than that. But I'll talk to myself, and I will sit here and be critical. But you know why promotion is slow? Because I'm sitting here judging people instead of praying for them. interceding for them. Maybe she can't afford those shoes. Maybe I need to ask God to send her some finances. But I sat here and I was critical in my spirit. But God says you need to possess your land, because you can't go no further until you drive out those things that have been with you since you've been with a child. Come on in, Job. I'm going to talk about Job. It says, see, Job, I think he learned at the latter part, but in the beginning, he started to talk. Yes. See, Job, at first I thought, okay, Job, you got your wife together. She was talking, and he said, shut up. My husband likes saying this to me. I'm just going to put him out here on Front Street. You speak as one of those foolish women would speak. He told her, shall we receive from God and shall we not receive evil? In all this, Job did not sin with his lips. He didn't sin. He told her, he even went off on his wife about talking crazy. Then the word was in the streets. So you know how it is when our business hit the streets. We got them friends that want to come over. I just came over to see how you doing, girl. But they nosy. And that's what happened. Job's friends heard his business in the streets. You know, Job done lost his whole family, his children, his possession. Let's go check on him. And they went and checked on him. And because the way Job looked, they say they didn't even, on the way there, they couldn't even recognize him. That's the level of suffering that was on him. And then it said, and they began to tear the clothes and wail. And then they sat on the ground for 7 days and 7 nights. And no one spoke a word to him. For they saw that his suffering was very great. I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. You come to my house to check on me. You see I'm suffering and you ain't got no prayer for me? Hang around some intercessors, some real intercessors. Some friends that know how to pray, that can see it through, that don't want to come over to know your business, but want to come over and help you pray it through. Get them type of friends. They sat with him a week, and not one prayer came out their mouth. They was looking at him, he looking at them, and they looking at each other. I'm like, that's crazy. Be mindful of who you let in your house, and when in the times when you're going through some things. Be mindful of who we connect with. Be mindful who you are, you have even praying for you. Because then it said they began, as soon as they opened his mouth, Job started to curse his birth. His friends started to tell him what he did wrong. You looked at me for 7 days and this is what just came out of your mouth? No prayer? Nothing. Pastor Jeffries, just complaining and telling me how I'm wrong. What happened to me that I'm getting all this? See, Job didn't even heed his own advice. But then down the way, when you begin to read it, he began to remember who God is, and he began to speak the things of who God is. And then when it started to happen, God was listening. And what I liked about it, God never spoke. God never said a word. See, there's moments when God is silent. God sat and listened to all that complaining. So you think he was like, God ain't hearing me. Oh, he listening. He heard you complain. He was about to walk you into your blessing, and then you opened your mouth. And then Rahab. You know, Rahab is my favorite Bible character. She is. Y'all, see, people just think she's a prostitute, but there's so much depth in Rahab. If you really study that. And the reason also why Rahab is one of my favorite Bible characters, because so was I a prostitute. So was I. So was I. It started from the age of 17 to I was in my mid-30s. And see, in the book, Rahab wasn't no just, well, Hassan called them, it's early this morning, but she wasn't no temple shrine prostitute. If you look at it, she had her own place. She was sitting at the top of the wall. She had a flat over her. She had money. The girl had money, y'all. She had money. And I'm telling you, she had a level of influence, because if you read in the Bible, that says that the king was watching her house. So the king also had his ear to Rahab's house, because Rahab knows stuff. People confided in Rahab. See, people, with prostitutes, with strippers and all them, people they hear a lot of things. I used to hear things about people in legislation in the capital of Texas that I can't even repeat. I used to hear things about pastors that I could not even repeat. I used to see pastors that I cannot even say that I've seen. You know how I know? I sat on their lap. You know. See, today I am walking in authority of deliverance. I didn't get here just by patting caking with Jesus. I didn't get here because I didn't go through some things. I came through the mud. I came through the dirt. I smelled like stench. So today I come to help you kill some things off of your life. You're